Okay. Okay, so it's been a little while since we last met up.
Yeah, gonna need a
Great.
recap.
Okay, so as usual, I am the TM Coma. If anybody out there is listening, if you like our content, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I'll put a link to our Discord channel and my Twitter handle so you can find me there. That being said, I guess we'll get to a recap. Okay, so last time you guys got to question the leader of the crawl, Ballo,
Yep.
and you traced his steps back to the cleric that worked for House Dennis, and then back to the former prince of Seer, and finally to the king Brelands, and then tracked down a the rumors of a pale man, which led you into Velnar in the former home of Runan, where you discovered a hidden panel and descended down into the earth and potentially even into the depths of Khyber itself, where you met the Pale Man and slew him. Not to mention Runar's sword transforming. Does that catch everybody up?
Yes.
I'm gonna turn this up. Okay. So, as the final blow lands, the vampire Teehis falls, and the party closes in. After a few moments, the sound of hissing steam begins to fill the air. As the party looks on, smoke begins to rise from the tips of his fingers. Whatever's causing the smoke to rise begins to move his arm, and you start to see it coming from his feet, and next thing you know, it's coming from his whole body. And as you look on, the cloud coalesces and then drifts off into the distance, leaving all of his equipment behind.
And what equipment did he have?
That was the armor, the adamantine armor. The
Right.
the mace. Yeah, we covered it a little into the last session. Okay, so you guys are in an underground cavern. What are you doing right now?
I'm just looking around more. Since I can actually see normally compared to everyone else's black and white for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to see explain to everyone as much as possible in great detail what I see.
Okay, so
Without,
in the chamber here, there is occasionally little motes of light that sort of emanate from the occasional outcropping of Khyber crystals.
are these harvestable, or are these if you hit them they're gonna explode kind of thing?
Um, well, there are some arcane sigils around, drawn on the floor around them.
I looked to August and Ventus. There's some arcane shit on these crystals. Do you know what these mean?
I'll take a look at them.
Immediately step up and be like, "Oh yeah, of course. Let me give it a try." And then I'll try to see if I can read them. Do you want me to like do an Arcana check or something?
Sure, yeah.
Seven.
Arcana or investigation?
Yeah.
Oh, read the investigation. Take an Arcana check.
Listen. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You do get quite good. So what you understand about these sigils on the ground, they are abjuration. Well, still shooting off fireworks? Yeesh.
Duration.
Abjuration magic.
Yep.
And what is abjuration?
Protection spells?
Yeah, protection and
So there's protection spells over the crystals. What do you think they're trying to protect them? Oh, obviously trying to protect them against being. It could be some kind of ward as well. Possibly not. Maybe we should leave these alone.
Okay. You guys want to check around for anything else, or?
Yo, yeah. I mean, I got a 7 for investigation, but
yeah, probably. Make sure this place is empty before we leave.
I mean, can Lucky do an investigation since she can see better than everyone?
We'll start with a perception check.
Perception.
Oh, good.
We all got good rolls. Okay, wait, actually, that's the wrong character. I'm not concerned. Oh, that's Baka.
Oops. God
Oh,
dang.
that's one.
Okay.
Brooklyn, if you would, as well.
So,
I don't think it gets better than a 28.
I doubt it.
Probably not.
So, from the far corner, it's not really a corner, it's more of a roundish chamber, but in the farthest side from where you guys are, here, the sound of something dripping.
Something
I'll turn toward the sound and walk over to that side of the room.
Okay, what do you do when you get there?
I'll see if I can find where the dripping is coming from.
Order. Earpiece?
Didn't bring it right.
Oh no.
Probably not in the box.
Okay, what are you doing?
What was that?
So you're gonna go over and check it out, right?
I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, Baka's gonna follow and scurry over there. Like, you guys hear that?
Oh yeah, we're going after it, boy.
Okay. So here in the on the other side, you hear sounds of dripping sort of intensify as you get closer. And Lachlan, you start to hear a thumping sound. Boop, boop, almost like a heartbeat.
You said Lachlan hears this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is not connected right now.
Yep. I'll just.
I'm just gonna quickly cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
It's good, right?
Alright, Lachlan, you can hear us? No, okay. No. You hear us, Lachlan? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so you start to hear a heartbeat sound.
I want to do a. What would it be? Investigation or perception? I slowly walk towards the heartbeat, very slowly.
It's coming from the sword.
Oh shit!
No
I draw
one
it out.
else seems to notice it. So you draw the sword.
I give Ventus a look.
It says, "Home."
I didn't catch that.
It says in a faint, sort of whispery, raspy voice, "Home."
Were you made here, or was your soul entombed into the sword here at this location?
I was born here, just beyond.
Beyond where we currently are?
Yes, further.
I give the rapier a flourish, and then I point it towards the wall as I feel it urge, as it wills me to almost.
As you do, the wall, sort of just above where you head height, you see a set of letters appear in Elvish. It says, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." And the rock face pulls inward and slides to the left.
Did Lachlan alone see the characters or any or everyone?
No, you all can see them appear.
Well, then I understand.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. We probably should rest before we ever enter there.
It wants me to go.
Can it wait 8 hours? So we can sleep a bit.
I step into the tunnel.
Step into the tunnel. It leads downwards.
Seeing Lachlan step into the tunnel, sigh and just follow begrudgingly.
So, you guys going into the tunnel?
I'll follow.
Okay, so as you all enter the tunnel, the it leads downwards for a while, and as you come towards the end, you see a glowing purple light from the end of it.
I tell everyone right here.
I'm sorry, I missed the last thing you said.
Um, yeah, from the end of the tunnel is a glowing purple light.
Can I do a check on my own self whether I would naturally give in to the sword?
Um, you can make a wisdom. Okay, so at least for the time being, you're not compelled by the sword.
I look at the sword one more time. I sheathed it. You get your rest, August.
Phew. That's good. I was hoping we wouldn't have to fight in this condition.
I go over and make my way to Dentist and just sit down next to him.
I'll say opposite them.
Baka's just gonna sit anywhere with his back to the wall. Well, with his shell to the wall.
All right, so you guys are taking a long rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we sort of need it before we fight, like, pretty much anything at this point. We're pretty beat up.
So can we do the long rest?
Yes. Alright, everybody remove one?
Yep.
All good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Ready to see what's that purple light, if it's still there.
Oh no, it's still there.
Yeah, well, check out the purple light now. And feel safe about it. Relatively safe.
Alright, you guys go down into the cavern.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, so you descend deeper and reach a large opening. Rough, almost natural opening in the rock around you. And through the center of it runs a glowing purple river.
River?
A glowing purple river. Does
How far away from is it?
Take a dip.
You're the closest side to be about 30 feet from you.
Oh, okay. Baka's gonna walk towards it very slowly.
if August will also approach it.
I will stay back, and if anything that looks like it's about to attack them pops out, I'm gonna cast slow out of my Frostburn's Wrath.
Okay, so what do you guys do when you get there?
I'm gonna my hand because I'm gonna dip my finger.
Alright, so you're gonna dip the tip of your claw into it.
Yep.
It's an oddly thick fluid. Pull your claw out and watch it slowly drip off. Sort of almost like molasses. But it's something else.
Can I make an investigation check to see if, well, a perception whether it's fluorescent or if it's glowing in a way or versus.
I'm gonna smell it.
You're gonna smell it?
Yep.
It has a sort of copper, almost iron smell to it. Almost
I'm gonna
like
I'm gonna express that to the guys, and then I'm gonna lick it.
Alright, okay, so first of all I need to make a constitution saving throw.
I freaking knew it.
Oh my god. Death by molasses.
Oh god.
Oh shit!
No, damn.
Oh god.
Okay,
God, it's so
you take on the poison condition.
It's a poisonous river.
What are you, a cleric or something? You should check to see if you're immune to it or something.
But it tastes sort of like blood.
Yeah, when you said iron, that kind of sounded like blood, but you said it was purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is becoming a bit of a recurring theme, if you notice.
Do we
What?
see that he's
Poison?
poisoned or?
I don't feel so good, guys.
You don't feel so good.
I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark.
I filled the rest of my poison vials with this liquid.
You hear Sanguis stir in your mind. He says, yes, take some. It is the blood of mother.
I will.
Blood of what?
Mother?
Oh, oh.
Come over to
I
Baka.
don't like that him using that word.
I'm gonna put some restorative ointment on Baka's hand to cure him of his poison.
You're gonna what?
I have some restorative ointment. It ceases to be poisoned and is cured of any disease, and you regain 2d8 plus 2 hit points, but we're at full HP, so
Nice.
Look
We'll
at
just look up and just like smile weakly. Thanks. I'm not gonna do that again.
I dip the rapier inside the liquid. Like
Oh.
half of it.
You hear almost like a slurping noise. In fact, everyone hears it.
what in the what is that?
Hear what noise?
I'm gonna look the thought and say it's
You said
for
slurping? Like what, like that, my guy?
Okay, Lachlan, I need you to roll a d10 plus your constitution modifier.
Oh,
oh god.
that's interesting.
I don't want to die.
I'm gonna do it.
Neither do I.
Let's do this. But I forgot I have spell scrolls that have spells in them.
Alright, you gain that many temporary hit points.
Oh, that's good.
Awesome.
Huh.
Dope.
Okay.
Seeing Buckland seemingly get stronger from that, I'll be like, oh, it's a good flare.
Whoa, someone slurping on my woman? Hold up. I will fight this liquid.
Poison. It might win.
Alright, so what are you guys doing now?
I don't know, I might have
I'm gonna look around.
Alright, so as you look around, you see that the river flows from further on your right and off to the left, sort of like would be like the southeast corner of the room towards the northwest of the room and through a small cavern on the other side. And further down, maybe no more than 120 feet away, is a rough stone bridge that goes over the river.
Let's start heading towards it.
Yeah.
I follow behind Ventus.
Alright, so you guys go over the bridge.
I'm gonna check like around the bridge, like peek like under it, if there's like an under, see if there's any trolls or etc.
No, but you see a few little like stalactites hanging down from it.
I will take note of that and have Miles go on alert mode.
Alright, you guys want to cross it?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yes, let's go across it.
I
Right.
shall lead it.
You cross over the bridge, and on the far side of the room, you notice a dark entryway on the side of the cabin.
I will. Yeah, I don't have like devil sight or anything, but can I see anything with my dark vision?
Well, there is light provided by the river.
Blood purple river. That's poison.
Can I like cast? Can I cast light? Can I like pick up a rock? Cast
Oh.
light on it?
Cast a light on one of my arrows and I'll shoot it. 600 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna cast light on her arrow, and I'm gonna color it the same color as the river with minor illusion.
And you guys shoot it down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, as far as you can see, it's a tunnel.
I'm gonna start walking down the.
All right,
Well, after
you guys all approach the tunnel.
Yes.
All right, as you guys approach the tunnel, I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shoot, we're not so good at those.
Oh fuck.
Nope.
Yeah, great job.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
oh fuck.
Nope,
oh,
on a 19.
fuck, we're fucked. We all failed, we're fucked.
All right, so you guys are all going temporarily mad. All right, everybody roll me a d6. Vintage.
got one.
Toll. 5. 6. Lachlan?
So roll the 6.
Oh, okay. So we get Ventus, Lachlan, Baka, August. Alright, so Ventus, you believe there's an illithid parasite living in your brain.
Wait, what?
Baka,
Damn.
you believe your opponents must bow down to mind flayers.
Wait, I believe what?
You believe your opponents should bow down to mind flayers.
They should bow down to mind flayers.
No, it's not a charm.
And you said I believe I have something living inside me?
Yeah, an illithid parasite. Like the baby mind flayer things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you believe you have one of those in your brain.
What about me?
Alright, Lachlan, you believe mind flayers simply want to unite all sentient creatures in a collective unconscious, and you receive messages from the group mind. And August, you think you're evolving into an aberration.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that out loud.
I'm gonna look myself, and I'm seeing some weird shit. I'm like, Fantas, you want some of this shit I'm on?
Start grabbing at my head and being like, I can't get them out.
I tell everyone, don't worry.
I'm
They're
becoming
good.
a monster.
I can't get them out. I start scratching on my head.
Mind flayers are good. They want everyone to be good and unite as one.
I have no enemies here, so Baka is just like, everything's in order.
They're good. They're in my brain.
I'm becoming some aberration.
Aberration. Bach is
Yeah.
gonna turn to August and like lift his hammer. What was that?
Please stop.
I'm gonna
August
back
will raise
into
his
the
shield in defense. Yeah, no, don't do it.
Okay,
My
so
hammer is very averse to aberrations.
he's what are you guys doing now?
I'm gonna bash my head into the wall, thinking I have things in my head.
Bach is gonna try and stop him, like hold him back.
I'm like, I
Uh,
can't get him out.
I'm gonna start walking faster into the cavern because I think I'm turning into an aberration. I don't want to kill the rest of the party.
I hold Ventus from behind.
No, that doesn't mean you're
Cool,
having
awesome.
an alignment shift. It just means you're turning into something, or at least you think you are.
Yeah, if I think I have something in my brain, I'm
I'm gonna try and like hold him back by his collar, neck. Just, stop! I will sit on you.
You sit on him.
Yep. Bach is gonna sit on him. Not with all his weight, because that would crush him. But
I'm not gonna fight it because I'm not very strong.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
gonna start dragging him down the hall. You gotta get moving.
Are you guys going back the way you came, or?
Well, this was the only way. The only way that we could see move forward.
I mean, you could always go back the way you came.
What do you guys think?
I don't know what you guys are doing, but I think I'm turning into an aberration, so I'm walking away and going deeper so I don't kill people.
Num Shivai. Num Shivai. Shivai.
I slightly unsheath the rapier. Is there a charm or dangers that I should know about?
The sword's Shinguis stirs in your mind. There's greater danger below.
Were you one of these greater dangers, or were you a victim?
Good question.
So he speaks and says, I am a creation. Sentience born of the blood of my mother. Born of her blood, born of her body. Born of steel.
Hey guys, August is going that way. I'm gonna follow.
I'm gonna turn to Baka and say, no, you're not gonna follow. I'm turning into a fucking aberration. You're staying here. I don't want to kill nobody.
Baka, I got Ventus. You get August before he goes getting himself killed.
Yep, on it. I'm gonna chase after.
Chase after him.
Yep.
Alright, so you're gonna try to grapple him?
Yeah.
Alright, so I imagine he's gonna fight back, so you wanna do like an opposed grapple check?
Yes.
I cast Hex on August. Disadvantage on strength checks.
Does that have a save?
No.
Resist it.
Hex? No. It's just you're on it. You can counterspell it.
I don't have it yet. I've
Was-
been leaving you guys to do the check.
What is like athletics or just strength?
Oh. You use athletics. $24. August.
Yep. So I have disadvantage.
Alright. Rocky, you have him grappled.
Damn, you negated my nat 20. Nat 20, please.
Alright, so what do you guys you have a hold of him when you do throw him over your shoulder and start hauling him back?
Pretty much.
If he's gonna do that, I'm gonna strike him in the stomach with gun gear.
You can't. You're over my shoulder. You hit my shell.
So that he'll put me down.
Alright, so what are you guys doing? Heading back up or
I hold Venture's time.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to
Continue
him.
walking.
Like so. We're going this way still.
Yeah, I'm kind of going. Like, am I still going mad? Because if I think I have something in my brain, I'm still gonna try to.
this madness is permanent until dispelled.
Can any one of us tell that it's something?
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell. This is obviously this is something you can't control.
I can't control. Like, I can't cast the spell magic on it.
It's technically not magical. I mean, if one of you had greater restoration, you could rid yourself of it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I
It'd
have.
be like, Baka, put me down. I'm turning into an aberration. I'm gonna kill you all if I stay here.
I just have like cure wounds and a bunch of like healing items, but nothing for mad.
No, most I have is or
Okay.
dispel magic.
It's a spell. I'm just gonna try to roll with it for a while.
are you guys going back up
I'm
top side or?
You know what? Let's do this.
Yeah.
I look at Ventus, straight in the eye. It'll be okay. I hold his hand to prevent him from bashing his head against the wall. And I kiss him. And then just continue down the tunnel.
You guys are going further in.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tunnel goes further down for a while. It levels out, twists and turns for a bit, and finally it opens up into another cavern. This one has some like glowing, like green type moss on it, on the walls, and leads further down.
Hmm.
Can I do a nature check to see if this moss is any type of healing factor with it or no?
Uh, so, it's a type of bioluminescent moss that's common in caverns.
I'll head in.
I'll also head in.
Same.
Same.
I'll be like, Miles, no.
All right, so as you head further in, the cavern begins to open up, and as it does, you can actually see some large, like, holes that have been burned almost seemingly randomly around the room. There's some on the left, some on the right, one in the ceiling, one in front of you.
Uh, I'll look at
the
say,
holes burned around.
the arrow trick again. See what's on.
What are you guys doing?
I'll look at this and say, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Lefton if he wanted to shoot an arrow in them, and I'll cast.
They're wider, they're larger than you are. And they're almost perfectly round.
I'm just
Already an arrow.
and just drink the potion of heroism real quick.
Have light ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one are you going down?
Which one do you want to shoot into? Probably the one to the left. The one to the left.
You go into the one on the left?
Yeah, she's gonna shoot an arrow that I can't light on.
The arrow flies through the hole and comes out on the other side, and you see a large cavern on the other side, and it flies through the room, and just at the edge of the range of the light, you see, is that a creature?
Seeing what appears to be a creature, August will prepare his weapon and will be like, we should be ready for a fight.
I will cast message at the figure and say, are you friend or foe?
So, what it answers back is, I have visitors. And this globular shape begins to float from the room that it was in and into the chamber you're in. It's a beholder.
Oh,
Oh, fudge.
I will feed Miles a potion of fire breath real quick. Here you go, buddy.
This is a what?
Well, hello. Uh, it's nice to see you.
It
See,
sort of guards you carefully, floats around, points its eyeballs at you, and then speaks. What brings the mortal kind into the depths of Khyber?
We got lost. We'll find our way another way.
Yeah, do you know where the bathroom is?
we follow the sword.
They
And
followed the sword. I was looking
and
for the bathroom too.
We're over there.
The beholder says, I am kind. I suggest you turn back. There is only death ahead of you.
Are you death or is something else there?
I have broken from my former master.
Oh.
I no longer obey him, but I do my best to keep these horrors at bay.
What horrors do you speak of? What is your name?
You just said his name was Kine.
I thought he was saying he was kind.
Yeah, like I'm being kind to you right now by not killing you.
Guys, it's not very often that something like this is going to actually speak before killing us.
Well, it does seem like he had some bad shit happen to him in the past. Maybe we can help him out with a little revenge or something.
But I'm not sure what we're even looking for down here.
I pull out the sword.
But with an eye like that, he'll be able to show us what we're looking for. If you know what I'm saying.
I pull out the rapier and ask the beholder, do you know what this is?
So he floats over closer to you, regards it, sort of looks real close at it with his big eye, then the tentacle stalks carry his eyes, look on it from either side, so he's looking at it from like 3 directions at once. And he says, Singus. once forged here in the very heart of Khyber. Is a cursed thing. I wonder how it made it to the surface.
Is it gonna try and get us killed?
It was on a assassin of types that we've killed that had vengeance for, and I killed him and I took a sword. Now the sword's mine. I just want to know if you're the cause of this voice.
Sanguis is sentient. Has its own will. It will not kill its bearer, but be a burden to it. It is perhaps that Sanguis draws you further in. It will have its own agenda, but it could be destroyed.
Destroyed? How?
Alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this up here. Okay. So, Kine regards you, says, it is possible, perhaps, to destroy the sword by plunging it into the heart of Khyber. If you were to travel to one of the volcanoes upon the face of Khyber and throw it in,
I quickly sheathe it and walk away. It's mine.
Volcano.
the
I understand.
Kine guards you almost with is it does he pity you? He says the influence of the sword, no doubt. And he looks at the rest of the party. That sword is powerful, but may be the doom of you all.
I look over at Lucklin.
Alright, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna get you another Mountain Dew. Hashtag not sponsored.
Anyone using the character app on D&D Beyond?
Nope.
No, not yet. I want to, but I can't find it.
It's DDB player.
Eh? Alright, so what are you guys doing? Hello?
What happened?
Oh, I've seen that, yeah. Alright, so what do you guys want to do?
I guess with this information, go back up. Leave Khyber. I want out of this place.
Oh, so you guys are going to return to the surface?
Yeah, as long as we feel like we're done. Yeah. I ain't fucking with this.
We have to go deeper. It calls to me.
No, that's a very bad idea. We'll die.
Actually, right now that you're in the presence of the beholder, you hear nothing.
I'll look at Lucky. I'll say, "What do you mean?"
What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna tell Ventus to grab Lachlan and drag her out of here.
Yeah, I don't think we should go any further.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I don't know if I feel like getting Eldritch blasted. Either now or later.
Baka's gonna grab Lachlan. Time to go.
Ventus is gonna, yeah, I'm gonna let it happen, but my face is gonna be like, "Sorry, Lucky, I love you."
Wave goodbye to Kine, and thanks for the advice. We gotta go now.
I'll should I hand him a sending stone and be like, "Hey, call me"?
We'll all hear that.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a sending stone. I'm gonna say, "Hey, bud, if you're ever lonely and feel like hanging out, just give me a call. We have a house somewhere that I'm not gonna tell you yet, but you can come visit sometime if you're not gonna kill anybody."
If you need help, I will be here.
My name is Ventus, and we are the Arcane Wind. I consider you a friend. And I'll just lay the sending stone down. And I'll say, "Call me."
He looks down at it, like almost tilting to where his eye is facing directly to the ground. Looks up at you. You see his tentacles kind of go up and down, almost like he's shrugging his shoulders, but doesn't have shoulders. He says, "I will see."
Later, dude.
So who's holding me?
Baka is.
Baka's scary in both.
No, I'm pretty sure you put him down now.
Yeah.
I scream and kick and shout and curse him to death as he drags me out.
I'm still looking at what to say. You need to sleep for a bit.
Okay, so you guys are leaving, going back up top side.
Yep.
All right. So what are you guys doing when you get there?
What's our next destination after this?
I guess we'll report back to the king.
I mean,
Okay.
you guys are insane, and you do realize that something is wrong with you.
Yeah. Can we find a church?
Well,
You can find a house Jarasco and pay 150 gold each for greater restoration.
Yep. Doing that.
We're gonna be like, the magical thing made us lunatics.
I need you to fix me, please. Pretty please.
Alright, so they bring you into a large room set aside, kind of like a. Give me a second here. I'm trying to do two things at once.
I paid the gold for that.
Wait, that'll be this weekend? Dang it. I'll message him later. Alright, so they pull you into like a large room, and they look you over and cast get a restoration on all of you. And you are free of your madness.
Yeah, I'll be. After all, this is 3% look up something that I'm not an aberration.
Yay!
Alright, so it's quite late in the night, so I imagine you guys want to take a long rest.
Probably.
Does that remove the curse too, or no?
No.
Okay.
You would actually have to get like a remove curse spell.
Which Baka has if you just ask.
The sword's mine. Don't touch it. Don't come near me. Damn it! You already took me out of the where I wanted to be.
I'm gonna look at the back and say, you got something for curses?
Yeah. So, Lachlan, what's that over there? Then I'm just gonna cast Remove Curse on the sword.
How long does it take to cast?
What do you cast on Lachlan?
Because when you
Yeah.
cast it, I'm gonna distract her and then take the sword from her immediately after you casted it.
You take the sword from him?
After the curse is broken, I'm gonna take the sword.
Yeah, I can remove curse on the sword or a person.
August, you are now under the curse.
Or if he breaks the curse on the sword,
No, the curse on the sword remains. The person becomes uncursed.
Yeah. It removes the attunement so that the sword can be taken away and they won't go crazy over it. But the sword is still a cursed item.
can I resist getting cursed when I touch it?
No.
Well, then if I know that, I'm not gonna actually touch it. I'm not that dumb.
Yeah. It's like the sword is cursed. So I'm going to remove curse and tell Lachlan to drop the sword.
Well, instead of grabbing it, I'll knock it over and smacking it with gun towards the ground.
Okay. So what do you guys do with it now?
I'm gonna take a big claws and wrap it up in the claws before I touch it and pick it up.
You're gonna slag it into the bag of holding?
Yeah, while it's all wrapped up. That might be a good idea.
Yeah. Wrap it up, put it in the bag of holding, and we'll leave it there until we get to a volcano control.
Okay. What are you guys doing now? I mean, you're having your long rest and everything, and you guys want to travel back. So,
Yes, you are luckily. Also, you just got an attunement slot read during this long rest. Attune to something you have, if you have something to attune to.
Oh, my gin ring. But that's gonna take X amount of time.
well, you've got some free time. I mean, with trance and everything.
We're
So,
taking a long rest.
yeah.
So yeah, you have plenty of enough time. It takes an hour. You can do that on a normal long rest that takes 8 hours, and when you have to sleep for 7 of those.
Well, actually, technically, a long rest is 2 hours of light activity and 6 hours of no activity. However, Lachlan's a full elf, so Lachlan only does 4 hours of trance, and
that's it.
well, see, the thing about the 2 hours of light activity is like you can be on guard duty.
Yeah, that or attuning to an item.
Yeah. There's lots of
Cooking
things.
and eating.
Yeah. As long as it's not too involved, yeah.
sit down and talk, cook and eat, attune to something, stuff like that. That doesn't have you moving around too much, exerting a lot of effort.
Alright, so what do you guys want to do?
Back.
Hmm.
I guess now we should report to the since we dealt with this stuff. Or we could go to the princess that whoever is closer. Princess is probably closer.
Alright, but I mean, how you want to get there?
Well, probably take an airship across the Morn line because we don't want to walk through that bit. We don't want to go all the way around it.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get as close to the Morn line as we can, then hop on through the lightning wheel, then hop on an airship.
How much money is all that?
It would be fair.
My best guess is because of the nature of the airship, since they are so new in the world, that you would to actually catch one to go somewhere, like actually get on one, you would have to go to a capital or something like that. You would have to go to the nearest capital.
A big city. They have covered the big city.
Now, so the right, so the nearest city that would be big enough for you would actually be Teehis, which is actually the capital of Eleanor, which means you'd have to spend probably several days walking. It's like close to 600 miles to Teehis, or walk north towards Lake Sear, and that's like around 200 miles to get towards Lake Sear to catch the lightning rail. And the nearest large city would be in Karnak at Vedikar, yeah.
I opened map up to look.
Yeah.
We could go by Teehis, all the way to the south. We just have to walk east and then a little bit south through Sharn to pass that to Kess to get onto Lightning Rail. That'd be closest. Well, we could just go north to Grip and climb. Close to there is Lightninville. Next to Lake Seer.
Alright, what you guys want to do?
Lachlan, do you want to go to the capital of Eleanor?
If we all go, then yeah. Individually,
Alright. So, we're still gonna have to walk through about 250 miles of desert.
can we buy a beast, a burden, to get us some way or get us quicker through that?
Yeah, you can travel quicker. I imagine there's some kind of caravan that would head towards Redwater River, and then to Kath, and then a short travel down south to Teehis.
I look at August. You're better at directions. You lead the way.
Alright, I'll bring us to where we could get on a caravan. To get with a caravan to head to the river down to Cass. Because I might not know this city very well, but I would at least know there is a caravan at this part of the city because I come from here a lot.
Yeah, this being a fort town, it's getting supplies all the time. So
I probably know the supply chains because
yeah, your family's heavily involved in the helping what elves actually care to be peaceful in Valnair.
Yeah, so
Right, so you guys.
I'll bring us to where I know we can get on a caravan. And we can go volunteer to guard it and go with it. We travel faster and they get something up.
Okay. Right, so you guys travel to Teehis. Now, traveling a large group discourages any less powerful monsters from checking you. Alright, so it's about 2,000 miles to Rote. Which should be travel. Airship. Alright, so that's going to cost you 2,000 gold a piece.
Would we perhaps want to go check on the prince and tell him he's much closer? And then from there, the lightning rail will get us to road at slower pace, but at least cheaper.
Well, it's not like he gave you a quest or anything. So you could, I guess, potentially get to a different town and ride the rail from there. Like you could travel to Vathroin instead. Which is about 1,000 miles.
Yeah, that's half the distance, half the cost. That's much better. It's on the opposite side of the moon. And then we could just take the lightning rail, which would be much cheaper to go the other 1,000. But question, when we get to Terrabilistas, what time is it day?
Okay, so it probably took you about 5 days travel, but it's probably at least early in the day.
Well, we would probably get to Cass at that time, but then we would have to take the lightning rail down. It wouldn't take us very long, but
Well, to get to Rote from Vathroin is about 1,200 miles. Which would cost you about 600 gold.
so we'd be paying 1,600 gold instead of 2,000.
Well, it's going to cost you 1,000 to travel from Terra Violetas to Vathroin, and then another 600 to get to Rote.
Instead of 2,000 straight from Terrabilistas to Rome.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to go to Vathroin. I take the from there.
I mean, do you guys add that 5,000 platinum from the king for turning in Ballo?
I don't think we did. Did we? Was that to each of us, or did that get split up?
Oh no, each of you.
Each.
You shouldn't be too hurting for gold right now.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. 2,000 gold is nothing if we really wanted. I was like.
Conversely, you could also spend 2,500 gold to instantaneously just warp to Rote.
True. If we want to spend money. Do we want to teleport?
Everybody's suspiciously quiet.
It's a DR. Baka and Ventus are
No, I've been
muted,
listening. It's just you're handling it perfectly fine. So teleporting would be quicker, a lot quicker.
It would be much faster for 500 more gold. And we have over 50,000 gold on them. So, each. So it's really not that bad.
How's everyone else?
Boston and Ventus, you two are muted. If you would care to provide an
I was saying we can warp. We have the gold, so let's not waste time.
yeah, there's no need to save 500 gold each. That's not much.
All right, so also one of the things is you guys were wanting to you had heard about Nihokoi, one of the bosses of Daask being in town, and he'll be in Sharn.
Yeah, so we don't want to waste any time. We want to catch him as soon as we can. So yeah, teleporting is a good idea. So let's teleport.
Okay, so you're going to teleport to Sharn?
Well, to Road, drop by the king, tell him that we found the pale dude. And we got to the bottom of saying what we found out. And then lightning real quickly to Sharn.
Alright, so we go to King Borno, and you start telling him about this pale man, this vampire, and he kind of strokes his beard and says, "A vampire. Seems like someone is making a move."
Someone is.
He nods at you and says, "I'll have someone look into it."
So you are unaware completely?
He looks around, nods at the guards that are just inside the throne room. They stiffen, salute him, and then leave the throne room and close the door behind them. He says, "I have my dark lanterns. Some of the best around. They watch things for me. Not to mention what the Warning Guilds can do. Never quite caught unaware. But something powerful is making a move. I will have to speak to some people. Perhaps soon I will have some answers." And with that, he dismisses you.
After being dismissed, I will lead the party to the White Moon to get on it and head to Sharn.
Wait, so you guys hit the shrine.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's getting on about midday by the time you arrive.
We're all rested up. Are people ready for a fight?
Okay, so you guys want to head down into the Undercity?
Yes, we're here for Nahoi Koi.
I'll take the back though as the party goes, keeping an eye out for anything.
Me and Baka will be in the front. Ventus will be in the...
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys head down into the upper Cox. And you head into Khyber Gate, into a place where you fought before. The Temple to the Dark Six. Travel streets. Dead quiet they are in the upper cogs. The rubble around you is cold and quiet. And before you know it, before you looms the Temple to the Dark Six.
I'll lead the party into the temple.
Okay, so you're just gonna go straight in?
Can I do a perception check, see if anything's out of the ordinary?
From the outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if I'll also take a look around before I walk towards the doors.
Alright, so you notice that the doors to the temple are open. And there's a sound of yipping, almost excited from the inside.
Can I recognize what's yipping?
You've heard it before. Is that Knowles?
Knowles, it sounds like Knowles. Oh, look at the party. Looks like we're about to fight. Let's go kill some Knowles. And with that, I'll lead the party through the door of the temple to confront the Knowles.
So, Inside are two very large gnolls and a hellhound.
Hell,
And from somewhere, you hear a, is that a laugh? Roll for initiative.
Nice.
Alright, let me bring up my thing.
Oh,
double.
Two
What?
nats.
What the hell? That's insane.
Alright, let me just put you in here. Alright, August.
It is my night apparently. Holy shit. I got 22.
22.
I rolled with advantage. Both rolls were not 20s.
Wow. Alright, Lucklin,
A sad 9.
9. Alright, Baka,
Back at initiative if you would. Really. He got an 18.
18. And Ventus,
11.
11. Alright, so I gotta roll for these dudes. Plus 2. Wait. They got a 9. I'll give them 8.
Oh, do I still have those temporary hit points or no?
No. They fade over 24 hours.
Okay.
So plus 1. It's a 20. And no, no, no. What's this for?
So, they're rolling high.
Add in there. Key. Okay, so okay. All right. Alright, let's see what. August, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. It is a charm effect.
So what's moving first?
Off to your left appears a large blue-skinned Oni as he casts a spell.
Does somebody got a counterspell that?
Yeah,
Thought
I'm
you
good.
would.
Is Lucklin the only one that has counterspell?
Pretty sure Ventus has it too.
What?
Counterspell.
Yes. I'm sorry, I had to back in and out. Everyone got like muted for a sec. My connection's been doing that lately, so. But yes, I do counterspell.
Counterspell. Okay, yeah. So you counterspell that.
Yeah.
Bleach shop.
Okay. So.
Okay, sorry about that.
Alright, hold on. Okay, yeah. So that ends his turn. So next up is August.
My turn. Okay, where be the enemy?
Alright, so
How far away? And
Oh.
in what positions?
alright, so about 30 feet in front of you are the two gnolls. They're about 20 feet apart from each other. And in the middle of them is the Hellhound and about, let me see how far here's the range of the spell. Oh yeah. So yes. Oh, okay. So he's about 40 feet to your left. Is the Oni.
So, if I run up 30 feet straight, I run into the Hellhound, who's between the two gnolls. They would be 10 feet away. And then, but instead off to the left 40 feet is the Veroni. I think for right now, I'm gonna get rid of the smaller guys first. And I'm gonna run up in front of the Hellhound, quicken spell Thunderstep to hit it and the two gnolls with Thunderstep damage, appear behind the Hellhound, and smack it with Skunk twice.
That's a bonus action?
I'm quicken spelling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So they need con saves.
Yes.
All right. So these
That's
guys.
Thunder Wave. God damn it, doesn't do this shit right. Hold on. That 3D. this save is the same as it says there. But that would be 14 damage.
Alright, so the gnolls don't save.
Okay.
And this guy gets a +2.
So they're both pushed 10 feet away from me as well.
Okay, so he fully fails too.
So the Hellhound will get pushed 10 feet away from me. Then I'll appear behind him. Also, when I cast the spell, he also took automatic 3 lightning damage.
The Hellhounds?
Yeah, because that works. That's just an ability I have.
Alright, and what's the rest of the damage?
That would be 14 thunder damage. Oh, actually, the 3 lightning damage will apply to the gnolls as well. It's within 10 feet, not 5. So, when I start casting a spell that does lightning or thunder damage, anything within 10 feet of me will take automatic half my sorcerer level damage of lightning or thunder. My choice when it happens. That's just an effect I have. And then they also take the spell's damage as well. It's fun. And then I'll appear behind the Hellhound.
I'm gonna do 14 damage each.
Yep, 14 damage each gun. And for my attacks with Gungnir, does a 13 hit?
1 second here.
The,
We'll apply this damage
Hellhound.
to them real quick.
in total, they took 17 damage each.
Alright, Hellhounds. What's the hit?
To hit is 13.
Does not hit.
Alright, the second attack. Also a 13.
Alrighty.
I rolled good damage too.
Decent damage. Alrighty, that's your turn. So that pulls us to the Hellhound's turn.
Alright, I'm behind it.
Alright, so it's gonna use its fire breath on you.
Absorb element.
So it's a DC 12 dexterity saving throw. Okay.
So that'll half the damage.
Half of
And then-
66.
I'm halving that again, so it'll be a quarter damage because of absorb element. I get resistant. On top of making the same.
So half of 11,
5.
5.
I take 5 fire damage. And that's I use set plus. That's not what I meant to do.
Okay, so that's its turn. Baka?
How high is the ceiling temple?
Actually, I'd imagine this thing's open, but you are underground.
We're underground.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot. I mean, is there space for a cloud to build up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my divine spark to call lightning.
Alright, who are you using them?
The two giant gnolls. They're close to each other. The Hellhound is still between them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not close to each other at all.
They're 20 feet apart from each other.
They were until I blasted them 10 feet away from me.
Now they're 40 feet apart from each other.
Yeah.
So now it's all single target.
I messed up the AoE a bit, but
Good job. Good job, August.
I would have been happy if they made the save and took half damage.
No,
and
you
didn't
wouldn't.
get
No,
pushed.
you wouldn't. It's okay. It's fine.
Let's go.
So I'll
It's
do
a
it on
cool
the first
save.
gnoll,
Okay.
whichever one that is. I have to make a dex saving throw.
Dex saving throw. Okay, they don't get proficiency in that, so it's only a +2. $17.
Okay.
You'll take half, right?
Yep.
Seven, half of 7. Ouch.
Okay, then I'm going to cast spiritual weapon on the same gnoll that I'm attacking.
Okay.
$15 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, with 8 damage.
8 force damage. Alrighty.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. See who's
Ooh,
next.
Actually,
Hmm?
no. Well, the cloud appears in a 60-foot radius,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm striking Knoll A.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, never mind.
Mm. Okay. Ventus.
All right. So, is anybody around the Hellhounds currently?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm behind it.
Okay.
It turned around
What
to
about
face
the
me.
gnolls?
So it has its back to you guys facing me.
Okay, what about the gnolls?
They're pretty much out there by themselves.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Fireball on the gnolls.
What's the radius on Fireball again?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, so technically you would catch the Hellhound and probably what do you call it? August in that, unless you cast it off to one side, but then you're only gonna get just the no.
Well, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just get the gnolls then.
Now I'm just informing you in case you know. Right, so you're gonna target the one on the left or target the one on the right?
Oh, so I'll only be able to get one of the gnolls?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to make sure you know.
Too far apart.
Fireball gnoll, yeah, no. Didn't you say there was a mummy too?
No, there's a what do you call it? It's a Oni.
An Oni?
Mm-hmm.
Probably work on the little guys first. So I'm gonna cast Melf's Minute Meteors.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that spell.
That's a spell.
I like that spell a lot.
Agreed.
It's an alliteration.
When you cast a spell and as a bonus action on each of your turns thereafter, you can expend 1 or 2 of the meteors, sending them streaking towards a point you choose within 120 feet of you. Once a meteor reaches its destination or impacts against a solid surface, the meteor explodes and they have to make a dex save or take 2d6 fire damage. So I'm going to expend 1 or 2 meteors, so 2 meteors towards a knoll. And he needs to make a dexterity 16 saving throw.
Okay, so do you want to do the one on the left or the one on the right?
The one on the right.
Okay. Get a +2 if I remember correctly, so 20. Nope.
Sweet. So 4d6 plus 5. Takes 23 points of fire damage.
Nice. Okay, yeah, he's hurt.
Alright. And then I'm gonna have Miles walk up to the other knoll and get within 15 feet of him, and he's going to use his fire breath on him, and he needs to make a dexterity 13 saving throw.
That's a 13.
Okay, he takes half, I believe. Let me check. Potion of fire breath. Or half, so 4d6. They take 7 points of fire damage.
Alrighty.
And then I'm just gonna have Miles get closer to me with the rest of his movement if he can. And then yeah, I have my turn.
Okay. With that, we bring it down to Luckland.
Okay. You said a ghoul was there too, right? Or oh. There we go. And it hasn't been hit. It's just the other two gnolls, and I cast Hex on it.
Okay.
And then I do my Omen to get a +5 on my attack die.
Okay.
And then I go in for my regular, using my my Lover's Wind. Sharpshooter.
$16. Is that your total to hit? 16?
That'd be total hit 16. Because the +5 then -5 evens out, so it's whatever that rolls.
Okay, that does not hit.
I'm gonna shoot it again without the
Without the sharpshooter?
the sharpshooter. Yeah. Does a 26 hit with Omen plus the basic +1 arrow?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
You can say what does a 26 hit?
For 13 damage.
4 of that is necrotic.
Yeah, that matters.
And that's going to end my turn.
13 damage. Okay. Alright, that ends your turn. Now is the gnome's turn. So, the one that was in front of. You know what? Alright, so this first one is actually going to go attack August. Oh, wait, they get 3 attacks.
That first one doesn't hit.
One with its bite, it's a +5. Yeah, that's only a plus. That's only a 13. And the other two
It
are
has to make 20.
with its claws. Nope, neither one of those. Alright, since you're the closest, the second one's gonna close in on you. That 19 hits.
Yep, give me the damage.
1d8 plus 3.
Roll to 1d8. That pleases me.
Alright, that finishes their turn, and now the Oni has his turn. Miho Koi here. So let's see. Right. Everybody but August, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as he casts Cone of Cold on you.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
The group.
Hello?
Hello.
I said a counter spell.
Oh, counterspell. What level are you casting it at?
Just regular 3rd level.
Alright, so I think you need to make a spell. I guess a spell check for that because Cone of Cold is like a 5th level spell.
Ability check. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level using your spellcasting ability.
Yeah.
Spellcasting ability
Yay,
is
Ventus said no.
my spell modifier or my spell attack? Probably my modifier, right?
Modifier.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, plus.
Oh no, the spell card says spellcasting ability.
Oh, doesn't matter.
You-
Natural 20.
Yep.
clutch.
All right, so he is as a no. Okay, so that ends his turn. August.
Hang on, I'm snapping. Okay, so he tried to do things, he failed.
Yep.
And I have the Knolls and the Hellhound on me. And none of my teammates are close enough to get within 10 feet. So they'll make a DC 15 con save again. Because nightmare stuff. It's fun to cast as a bonus action using clicking.
Nope. And for the Hellhounds, he needs plus 2. Yes. Nope.
Nice. So they get knocked back 10 feet away from me again and take 23 thunder damage as well as 3 lightning damage.
So 26 total.
Yep. And that'll appear behind the Hellhound.
All right, so one of the Knolls actually goes down.
Nice. And now I'm gonna hit the Hellhound.
Okay.
Does a 14 hit?
No.
Oof. Gun here. Why? Okay, a 27 is gonna hit. 15 damage to the Hellhound.
Okay.
All right, so what does it look when you hit kill the Hellhounds?
I'm gonna peer behind it and swipe at its back legs and cut them clean off. And it'll bleed out.
Alrighty. That end your turn?
Yep.
Alright, Baka.
Nice. Bonus, yeah. That was fine.
That's disgusting.
I'm going to continue my lightning on the last knoll.
Okay. Deck save.
Yep.
20. I see what their modifier is. Probably not that great. Yeah, it's only a plus. Yeah, plus 2.
Okay, so that hits 3d10. Ew. Wow.
So this thing only had 4 HP.
Oh, okay.
So you call down your lightning, it strikes it, it tries to dodge, it strikes it, looks up, it's like, you see it singe
It's
fur,
very big.
steam comes off of it, it falls down dead.
Nice. And the Oni is still up,
Yes.
so I'm gonna send my flying hammer at it. My spiritual weapon is gonna go flying towards it.
Okay.
And is it within 20 feet? Because I can only move it 20 feet at a time.
Oh, no. You can move it closer.
Huh?
You can move it closer, but you won't.
Okay,
you won't,
then
you
I
won't.
move it
Yeah.
closer. And that'll end my turn.
Okay. Princess?
Alright. I still have 4 meteors left. Do that as bonus action. Oh, it turns out that I can actually cast these spells out of my rod. So, yeah. Let's keep this in mind for the spells later. Who's still up? Moni. One of the Knolls went down, right?
Both of them are
Yeah,
down.
both of them are down. Yeah,
Okay, cool. So the only
Only
thing
the
that's left
Oni is
is
still
me.
up.
yeah.
Okay. So perfect. So in that case, I will cast Scorching Ray at him.
Scorching ray.
Yeah. So that's 3 rays of fire. So that's 3d20s.
Mm-hmm.
They're all gonna be 9.
Okay, the first one is a hit, and the last one is a hit.
So that's each one is 2d6. That's 46 plus 5 for my elemental affinity. I'm gonna use a sorcery point to re-roll that.
Good job, Ventus. Give them.
Okay, well that's a lot better. So that's 15 plus 5, so that's
20.
20 points of damage. And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to send. He needs to do DC 16 Dexterity saving throw.
Cool. Right. Uh, he gets +8 to that.
Okay, I'm gonna use another sorcery point to reroll those, please.
So it's at 20. No, that's 16, 17.
4 minus 13, which is 9. Wait. So that's 6 plus 6. So 17, 18, 19. So 19 points of damage for the
Alright,
meteors.
so he is gonna cast Absorb Elements
Okay.
on the first spell. So he's gonna take a total of 29 damage.
It's like separate attacks, like Eldritch Blast. Or does he only like absorb the first 2d6?
It gives him resistance to the triggering damage type until his next turn.
Oh, remember
So,
you.
yeah, that's why I want to do it. And also, if he hits with an attack on his next turn, he adds 1d6 to that damage type.
Okay, so he just takes half. So,
So, yeah, it's nice.
39. Wait, 20. Yeah, 39 total.
and then I need him to make another Dexterity 13 saving throw for Miles' Fire Breath.
So he's gonna take 19 damage. So he's gonna get +8 to this. So that's 16, 17.
Okay, well, that
For half
should be
his.
So,
like
he
what?
rolled a what on the save?
He gets +8 to his dex saves.
Ooh,
So it's a
so that's a
15.
15.
Yeah.
So he'll take quarter damage because of the resistance to fire that he can't do with the absorbed element.
So yeah, 4
Jeez.
points.
So a quarter of 17. 4 damage.
23 total damage for the turn.
Okay. And then I will end my turn.
Okay. It is Lookland's turn.
How badly does the Oni look?
He's damaged.
Hello?
He's taking a bit of damage.
Okay. I only have 2 spell slots. Why not this? I'm do straight shots, just pure shots, with the lever win.
Okay. Plus 16. Jeez. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, 31. Jeez, yeah.
Does that hit?
Yeah. Well, his AC is 19. It's 34. Ouch.
Then I do action surge and do that all over again. Not that part.
Okay, Buffalo's hit. Oh, this is-
That one's for the critical. And that one's for the other one.
Okay, so he had 8 hit points after your last volley. So what's it look like when you take him down?
Arrows just hit the shit out of him.
Oh, it's been a weird update to freaking.
Then I go over there and rip the arrows out. These are mine.
Okay. Oh shit. Oh well, never mind. It's too late for that. No. Alright, so you go over to him?
Yeah.
Yep. Loot the body.
Okay, so as you go over, he's dying. And he looks at you as you stand over him. He coughs up a little blood. And And he laughs. I gotta this pull this up. I should have pulled this up earlier. Because he has something else to say. He says, Kavilla is coming. And he chokes and dies.
Wait, he said who's coming? Bill?
I'm gonna put this up. CAVALLAH. Okay, so you guys want to loot his body, right?
Damn sure.
Okay, so on him you will find a potion of speed, bracers of defense, cloak of displacement, and a ring of spellstorm.
I'll take that if no one wants it.
Yeah, you can have it.
Now,
Baka wants the cloak.
alright, so inside the ring he has cast a vampiric touch with a +7 to hits. A Tasha's Hideous Laughter with a wisdom save of 15. And a absorb elements.
Nice.
These there was a vampiric touch that had a DC, or is it just a straight?
It's an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah. For him, it's a +7.
Cool. Okay, thank you. So braces defense, cloak of displacement. Baka wanted. What else? The ring, defense.
I want the potion.
Cloak.
I want the potions.
Okay, and the
Yeah.
potion. Yeah.
Yeah, the potion of speed.
I want it all for one thing that it gives me extra action. Four attacks.
Well, it gives you
Yes, please.
it gives you the effects of haste.
Yeah, it's
So
a
you
haste spell.
you get one extra attack. Not one attack action, but one attack.
An
Plus
additional action. on
plus
each
2.
of its turn.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, yeah, it specifies one weapon attack only.
Yeah, one weapon attack only. +2 AC, and I think +10 movement speed.
It doubles your movement speed.
Doubles your movement speed.
Okay, you gain +2 to AC. Advantage on dexterity save. An additional action on each of your turns, which can only
Oh, wow.
be used to attack with
That's
one weapon attack.
Better than I thought it was.
Dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. So I could use that to disengage or dash or hide if I wanted to. Or get an extra attack in 3 attacks instead of just 2. Or I can use an item. Which is nice.
And you've now heard an ominous warning. And I think that's a good place to stop for tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fair.
it is a good time to stop.